Welcome back to my channel, and today we're removing carpet and putting in luxury vinyl plank. I'm currently at the job site, and we're going to remove this floor. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So we're going to remove this carpet. So this is the existing carpet, and we've got tools here. So we'll remove this carpet, and the client's going to come back with some luxury vinyl plank. And we'll remove this and put it in place. And then with luxury vinyl plank, you need to leave a roughly a quarter inch gap around the edges. So we're going to cover that with shoe molding, which I'm going to copy the doorstop. So we're going to get this doorstop material, and we're going to install that all around the perimeter, and it's going to look amazing. And then we're just going to have to put a transition strip over here. And the trickiest parts are going to be the closets. We're going to have to undercut the casing in the door jamb to get the floor underneath. And I'll show you all that. And then same thing over here. We're going to have to undercut the closet doors. Actually, I'm going to remove these doors to make it easier. So that's actually the first thing I'm going to do. Is I'm going to come back and I'm going to pop these doors out, and actually this door too. I'm going to take all the doors out to make it as easy as possible and be back with that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the pintles. I believe they're called pintles. The little pins inside the door hinges. And I actually had a tool for this, but I don't know what the hell I do with it. So I'm going to have a similar tool, and so I'll show you on this little door. So I had a tool that went more in here. It was similar to that tool, but it was pointier on this end to fit inside the hinge. But this one works just as well. And I'm going to do that on the bottom. Do that on the top. If you guys get an angle, see if I can hold the camera. I need to get some kind of mount for these videos. Pop this one out, and that's off now. And now let's take off the door. So we do that to all the doors. They're on the carpet, and let's get them out of the way. Prevent any damage. Put them in the bathroom. So I put that one in the bathroom, and so that's how you remove them. Straightforward. You can do the same at your house. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this door. And these ones are going to be a little bit different, so I'll show you how these ones work. These ones you need to remove. There's going to be the bottom part's going to come out. You need to lift this part up. They're just kind of sitting there. So that's out. So there's a little track there that it sits in. So that's out. And these, you got to put them right back when you're putting them in. And so this one's going to come out like that. Same thing with this one. And then these pins are literally just pushed inside. You pull them down. It's easier than it looks. And don't try putting the floor in with the doors in place. So there. So I got this one. And now you have the POV of me carrying it out of the bedroom. So that's one. So that's one door. And just put them back. Put them back the same way you took them out. You know, you can tell by where these are. And if you are, if you're doing this at home, you try and do it yourself. It's very easy. But if you feel unconfident in your abilities, you can contact me anytime. Buildaholics.com. And we'll help you guys out. So I'm going to do that same thing on that door. I'm not going to keep recording the same thing. Take that out, take this door out, and then I'm going to snap some lines on the carpet and show you guys how to remove the carpet. Yeah, I'll record myself taking the door out. From the back. That's actually a good angle right there. So always start at the bottom. Pop that out. Usually you'd label the doors, but in this case there's only one of each. Take that and put it in the bathroom. And that's it, we're ready to take the carpet up. So I'm gonna make sure I put all the pin-thills back. Pin-thills, I believe is the right name. So make sure you put those back so you don't lose them. Put that one back. Put this one back. And now we have room to cut. We gotta cut the door jambs and the casings. Same thing over here. So we can slide the floor underneath so there's no joints. No gaps. And we're back. So I'm going to remove the carpet now. And actually, I started on the. You want to start on the where the carpet meets a transition. Ideally over here. It's going to be a little bit harder to pull out from here with a tool. But here I was able to start lifting these up just with my hand. And then you see there's a seam here. So that means the carpet's connected all the way down the seam. So we're going to remove it by that seam and see if I can get that on tape. So I'm going to remove it like this. Put my shoes on. Just follow that. I'm going to remove this. So you see how easily that came up? And then we're going to pull the carpet back from the nailing strip. So there's a nailing strip. Behind here that connects the carpet, and then this is the under pad that gives it more cushion. We're going to separate from there. You can see how easy the carpet comes up. Actually, you should wear a mask because when you pull this up, you see all the dust that's been embedded into the carpet. So we're going to lift this, separate this, and then I'm going to probably snap a line with a chalk and cut this into more manageable pieces. So get all that off loose. Get that all loose, and then I'll snap a line through the middle and give it a cut. So yeah, we'll get the measuring tape out of my bag of tools, get the measuring tape, get the chalk line, and I think we'll change the blade on the knife. We'll try using this one for now, see how it goes. So we'll measure and see how, over here. We'll measure and see how big the carpet is, and then we'll snap a line right in the middle. So we'll cut this carpet in half. So it says it's 100, it says about 10 feet. So let's cut it at, it says 128, 130. So let's do 50, 65. I think 65 is a good number. So 65, which is a little more than 5 feet. So we'll cut it from here. And then we'll snap a line down the middle. So 65. We'll measure 65 on that side. So measure 65 on this side. Which should be probably where this door is. 65. 65 is right here. Can you get this raised up? 65. That's marked 65. And then I'll get the chalk line. I'll get the chalk line, snap a line, and then follow that line with the knife. All this is pretty straightforward, I think. Let's see if I can get a better angle from up here. So that's actually a really good angle. So we're gonna get this, the chalk line. We're gonna put this end on the carpet where it's cut. And we just snap a line. So we get that pulled. Bring you guys in here. So I'm gonna hold this where this line is, and then you can see down the line. Loosen this a little bit. You can see down. Then I'm gonna snap this thing. You can see my hand. So I'm gonna follow that red line and cut the carpet. So I'm gonna cut that carpet. That's good like that. Roll it up. And I'm getting a phone call, so I'll be right back. And that was a call if I needed bookkeeping. And I said no, and now I'm back to cut the carpet. So I'm gonna do it like this. See what I'll do the knife cam. Let's do a knife cam. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get this done properly. Apologize for the camera angles. I should have brought a cameraman. Next time I'm gonna bring my son. He can be my cameraman. So I'm gonna put this down like that. So I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna grab it so the knife's a little bit lower where it's sharper. Let's go along that red line. And I'm gonna do that all the way across. All the way across this room. And then we'll cut it, put it in half and roll it up. So we cut all the way down, and now I'm gonna roll up this side. So to roll it up, I'm gonna grab this side and try and tuck it. Try and make this as small as possible, because the smaller you make this, the tighter the roll gets, and the easier it is to get rid of it. And this should work. If it's too heavy, I can cut it in half. Should brought some tape. I think that would work. Pull this away. So I pulled it away from the wall, and we're gonna roll this thing up. Going a bit of an angle. No, these are good manageables. It's a good manageable size. So I got one rolled up. Looks like that. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. And the same thing with this one. I'll cut it in half in the middle. And same thing with the underlayment. You can see it's taped where it's taped, so we're going to use that seam. So I'm going to take this duct tape off. And we're gonna remove that seam and roll up the underlayment at the same time. And then we'll come back and I'll remove all this and then starting that strip off. I'll come back when I have everything removed and I'll show you guys how to remove this nailing strip. Quick update, so I removed all the carpet. So you can see all the underlayment, and I'm going to remove and cut where the duct tape is. And after I do this, it's going to be staples. So they staple this floor, this underlayment. You can see as I pull back, it kind of gets stuck. So you can kind of see it's probably not going to come up the easiest. So it's coming up like that. And there's concrete underneath the floor, which is a problem because she doesn't have underlayment. So I'm gonna have to call the client and let her know that this is concrete and she's gonna need underlayment for the floor. And I'll be right back. So I let the client know that she has carpet underneath here, so I'm gonna keep removing this. And actually the one big benefit of having concrete underneath is I don't have to pull out all the damn staples. Usually there's a whole bunch of staples in the subfloor, so that's one less thing to worry about. And so we'll continue. I'm going to remove all this. I'm going to rip all this out. Looks like it's just glued. I thought this was a wooden subfloor, but it's not. So it's all kind of glued near the outside and where the tape is. So once that's removed, once this is removed, it's going to come up easy peasy. So I need to get some demo bags, some garbage bags to dispose of all this. And I'll be back when I have all this removed. Back quickly to show you how you see the glue. The glue is really well adhered to the underlayment. So we're going to use a scraper to separate it. I have to use a hammer. It's really well attached. So we're going to have to separate this. As you can see it's glued. It's glued all around the perimeter and over here. So I'm going to need a hammer and show you guys how to remove that. Okay, so I got the hammer and scraper, and you see how I can knock that out. You see it's really attached. Looks like contact cement. So sometimes you need to use a hammer and a scraper to get this off. Never assume anything. I assumed that this floor was going to be wooden, but I was wrong. All the other floors are probably wooden, or should be going up. It's like a 4-story condo, townhouse complex. So we're going to use a scraper to get this removed, and then we're going to put an underlayment underneath this. So we'll do that all around, and I keep saying I'll be back. Okay, so I removed the inner part, which is not glued down, and everything else is glued down. So this is all glued down. So from here over it's glued down. So I need to go around with a scraper and scrape all that, and it's actually good to find out beforehand if that's the case, because this is going to be a pain in the ass. But it is what it is, and actually I think there's a razor blade scraper that you can use to get this off easier. But for now I'm going to use this, and if this doesn't work good enough, then I'm going to go get that It seems to be working pretty good actually. It cleans as good as possible so the underlayment sits nicely. I should have found a little bit of an easier way. To scrape it, and this seems to be the fastest way. So I'm using it's like a 4-inch drywall knife, and then I'm just going underneath it. It takes some time, but there's nothing else I can really do. So we do that. So I'll do that for a couple hours. So after trial and error, I found that this is the best way to remove it. This is use the knife, drywall knife, and just scrape it. You see, follow me down the road. And some parts are easier than others. You can see where there's moisture. It actually holds a little bit less. Just gonna keep doing that till it's all done. It's all done over there. So I removed all of the underpad of the carpet that was glued around the perimeter. It's all removed, both rooms. And now I just need to remove the nailing strip that's around the perimeter. And this is what we're working with right now. And I'll start removing the nailing strip. And I'm going to use this scraper. I'll show you a little bit over here what the next step is. I'm going to set this up back here. Get it in a good spot. And we're just going to go around popping this thing off. I don't know if this is. So take this off. Everywhere the screws are, it might be better this way. Let's pop that off. Not sure if. There you go. Let's pop this all off. So get this all off and then we'll vacuum. Sweep and vacuum. All this shit off without cutting up your fingers like I am. And hopefully the nail comes out with it. Sometimes the nail does not come out, like you see over here. And I'm not sure what the best. Try to hit it with the hammer, bust it out. Should have a grinder. I'll probably get the grinder and cut it out. So rubber grinder, because you never know when you need to cut this. So we'll cut that out so it's nice and flat. And we'll do that going around the perimeter. So remove this nailing strip all over the place. And we clean up, and then it'll be ready for the underlayment. And the client's gonna go and get that very soon. And I'll come back when I have all this nailing strip taken off. And I start taking these out. These are the little brackets for the bifold doors. I already took that one out. And so to take these out, and then we'll put them back on top of the finished floor. I'll try this with two hands. Try this with one hand. It's one screw. Two screw, and don't try taking any shortcuts. The floor has to go all the way through. I was at a job the other day where some guy did it himself and he stopped at the transition where the doors slide. And he stopped at the transition and then the other side. And then he left the track on the bottom too low and his doors are rubbing. And that's a big no-no. Don't take any shortcuts. Take it out. So we took it out and we'll put it back when the floor is back in. Okay, all of the nailing strip has been removed. There's nails sticking out of the ground. I need to come around with a grinder. But I need to first sweep all this up, clean it up as much as possible. And then I'm going to grind the little nails out and sweep one more time. You see all the nailing strip has been separated from the flooring. Big mess everywhere. And the client brought the underlayment that we're going to use, and this is the underlayment I recommend when living in Ontario. There's the DMX. Actually, I even use this in Alberta. And what's his name? Scott McKilvery from Home Garden TV. Looks like he's partnered with these guys. No mold, no cold. So I'm going to put that down under the flooring. And I'll be back right after I sweep all this. Actually, I'm going to maybe do a time lapse. Maybe. We'll see. Use the bag from the flooring or from the underlayment or the garbage bag and get all these nails in here. So do that. And this is boring, so I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so you picked up all the big pieces, put them in a bag, chucked it outside. And now we're left with this. So we're just going to sweep this floor as best as you can using a broom. And just sweep, keep cleaning, and then ideally get a vacuum and suck everything up. Get this floor as clean as possible. Come back, hit those nails, grind those nails out, get as flat as possible, and then we'll be ready for the underlayment. Okay, so next step, we swept up everything, we cleaned it up, put it in this bag, and now we're going to go around with the grinder and cut the nails that are sticking to the ground. Which is what I started to do here. And then there's even some in this closet. And I'll cut a few and then we'll get the picture. Cut those. And so on and so forth, and then we'll be back again for more sweeping. So I grinded out all the nails are gone. I swept one more time, so it's the third or fourth time I swept. Clean everything up nice. The floor is very clean, even though it doesn't look like it. It's just paint and glue from the floor. This is as clean as it's going to get. And now, so the demo is completely officially done, minus me disposing of everything. And that took about 4.5 hours. It's 4:30 right now. Started this project around 12. And so I put the garbage out here. For now I need to find a way of dumping it somewhere. It's starting to snow a little bit, Mississauga. And I'm ready for the subfloor, the underlayment. So I'm going to start rolling this out. And I'll be back with that. Okay, so this is my sexy hair. This one looks terrible. So this is the underlayment that we're installing. So it's like a bubble. The white side goes down. And then I'm gonna put the floor on top on this. And the roll's right here. And I'm gonna roll it out and show you how that's done. And when I'm doing the floor, we wanna find the longest wall and use that wall as a reference. So we'll start on that wall. We'll work our way back towards into this bedroom. And then we'll lay the floor the same way. The white side's going to go down, so we're going to cut it to length first, and then we'll go from there. Let's get this thing against the wall. Okay, so we're going against the wall, and I'll show you how I'm going to cut it over here. So over here, you can see it's not straight. You see it's not straight, it's against the wall. So what I'm going to do is bring it in. Actually, see, I almost fucked up. It's not how you want to do it, it's going to be done wrong. So what we're going to do is, what we want to do is, I'm going to roll this roll. Actually, want to roll this roll from the door. We could have measured it with a measuring tape, but that's for rookies. This is the faster way. So we put the floor, we're gonna put this up against here. This is where we want to be. So you see it's right up against the door. And then on that side, and then on this side, I'm going to roll it to the baseboard, and we're going to cut it, and then I'm going to cut every piece like that. So I'm going to run it to here, run it to here, where this is. So we're going to run it right to the baseboard. Bend on that line. Now we're bent. The only tool you need is a knife. See, a knife is bent. Now we're gonna bend that a little more. And now we're gonna cut from this side. Push it around the corner. Easy lemon squeezy. Start there. Now get my knife into the same spot. And we're cutting it all the way. Okay, so that's our first piece. And now we're gonna go back on this side and cut that notch that I was talking about. So with the camera here, see, sometimes even the peripherals mess up. I'm off camera, but I'm back now. If you see Scott green on the blue side, that means you have it the right way up. And now we're gonna push this where we had it before. Use it for measurement. So we're gonna get up against the baseboard here, and then we'll cut it we'll cut the floor here. Here actually I'll use a measuring tape. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm measuring to there, it's 5 inches. So 5 inches is here. So we'll cut up to here. And then should we go then? Get to there. Cut it here. And let's do the folding technique. So we'll fold it. Fold it. And cut it. And that looks pretty good, minus this part. Shaving. And I fucking cut the wrong side. Dumb. So I cut the wrong side, they just said. And we're not editing this because that should happen sometimes. We cut the right side, and we'll tape that part back on. So cut that. We'll tape this part back on. Got some tape. So this is the tape that comes with it, and we're just going to put a piece of tape there. Let's mix it. It's going to be a vapor barrier and tapes together. And we're going to use the same tape on all the seams. And the reason I taped it and didn't cut another piece is because I would have been a waste of material. We don't have to waste material, and there's no negative sides to taping like that. So now we're going to push it up against the wall. Wall. And here's actually a little bit of a gap between the baseboard and the floor because of the carpet. So that's good there. So that's nice. And now we're just gonna make the same thing all the way over here. So we're gonna kick this piece. My camera's sagging. I'm gonna kick this piece up against the wall. We make sure that this piece is tucked. This piece can tuck underneath, which is very good. We'll tuck that underneath, and then let's try and slide that. Let's try and slide this whole thing underneath. You guys listen to my plumber's crack, and I actually feel like there's this nail here. Let's see if that is a nail. Let's push this up against the wall, and then we'll put that on. So now I have the pieces all over or under the baseboard. That shit looks good. That looks good. Feels good. And that's perfect. The first piece is perfect. So So that's what it looks like. First piece is from under the baseboard on that side, and it's up to here, and it goes all the way up to the door. And then when we're on the floor the same way. And I'm gonna come back with a saw. We're gonna undercut all the casings and the door jambs, so there's no joints, no gaps between the door frame and the casing, and that's gonna happen everywhere where you see casing and door frames. We're gonna undercut it, and that'll be the next step after I lay out this subfloor underlayment. So we're gonna roll this out and do another one, and I'll come back taping. Okay, so I rolled out the next piece, and you can see it's short here. So we're gonna cut a piece off the next one, finish it, and I'm gonna use the pieces of tape to hold it in place. So I put a piece there when the two pieces of underlayment are flush, cut it up against each other. And now I'm doing the same thing on this side. Pull this way. And the flush, I'm going to put a piece of tape, hold it in place, and then we're going to maybe put one more shim around piece of tape along the whole joint. Tape the seam. Now we'll cut some more. And I'll be right back. So I got 3 pieces down, and I put the flooring on top of it before I forgot to record. So I'm recording now. So I got 3 rows down. Put the floor down. It's good that the floor sit for a little bit to let it acclimatize to the room. And now I'm going to start in this room. And I think I'm going to start on that back wall. So I'll start fresh on the back wall, come this way, and then I'll connect these 2 rooms together. And I'll do that next. Okay, we'll roll up this piece I have here and see if it's big enough to span this distance. And the last roll the hardest part to roll out, and let's see how much we have left. So it looks like we're a little short, so I might as well get a new roll. And we'll get the new roll, and then put this one in next. Okay, and I'm back with the new roll. Start the whole roll. It's easier to start the whole roll. And then I'll use that piece to fill it in. So we'll roll it out. Which way? So this will roll it this way. It would probably be easier to put a piece by itself in the closet. That would make the most sense. Maybe I'll do that. I'll roll out of the closet. So let's roll it up to. Let's roll it just to the beginning of the closet. Let's see. Okay, I'll give it some flooring action. Hold it down. Box of floor. Okay, put the box of floor in here. Hold it down temporarily, and then I'll cut this side. And if I can find my knife, I'll put it over here. Okay, so measure same way. Come over here. I'm gonna try to avoid recording the same thing over and over again. We can hold it over here. Bring the floor to the baseboard. And just like over there, we're going to bend this right up against the baseboard. A nice crease in it. I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to flip it around to put it in place. And I'll flip it around. Bring it back here. We'll flip it around. Give you guys a nice view. Take the floors. No problems. Make sure we're deep enough here, and then we'll cut off this corner. So we slide this in up against the wall. And as we cut, slide it. The cut. Or we use a measuring tape. Either one works, but I don't feel like using my measuring tape. Push this up into the corner. And just a little bit more, and I'll be happy with it right there. I'm going to cut this casing up. Then we cut the gas and casing. But this looks like it fits perfect. That's exactly how I want it. I'll push this side over. Slide the living room to the baseboard. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. So you see here, the flooring goes all the way up to the baseboard a little bit underneath, same against that wall. And over here we're cut out exactly around where we need it with no use of a measuring tape. And I'll probably throw some flooring on this to hold in place while I put the next strip in. Okay, it's 6 o'clock and I'm going to pack up and go home. I got this room done. You can see the underlayments down. I got it done up to here. Cut some small pieces to fit in here into the closet. And just need to do this little section tomorrow morning when I come back in. And I can start laying the floor. Now these flooring pieces laying here for two reasons: to hold down this floor and get a little bit flatter overnight, and also to climatize to the room. I want to climatize as long as possible. And that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow.